Hi, this is Donna. Welcome to DD Paper Crafts. In today's video, we're going to be making this triangular shaped box, which was inspired by a branded chocolate box, which I saw on Pinterest. This box has a tab and slot opening at the top, pull the front down, and we have our candy dispenser opening. And in addition, I have added a slot for a gift card, which is obviously optional. With some considered cutting, the box can be made from one sheet of US letter or A4 cardstock, and it does come together surprisingly quickly. The box is 4 inches across, 3¼ inches at its highest point, and 2½ inches wide. So let me show you how I put this project together. We're going to start with the piece which creates the front element of the box, the back and the base. This is the width of US letter or A4, so 8¼ or 8½ inches times 5 inches. Along the long side, score at 2, 5½ and 8, rotate, and on the short side score at 1/2 and 4½. Fold the piece under on what was the 2-inch score line here. Place the piece back in the board and make a pencil mark at 2 inches and 3 inches. Fold and burnish along all of your score lines. Take your scissors. We're going to cut up each of the score lines within the 1/2 inch glue tabs to separate the pieces. Rotate. Remove the small square at the end. Move along to the next score line. Rotate. At the moment we're just creating the glue tabs, and then we're going to cut a wedge into each of these. Now what you will find is this score line here is going to be the top, as it were, so you will need to eventually shape these glue tabs to fit the triangles on the top. You might want to leave these two now either side until we come to stick the triangles on. That's entirely your choice, or cut a wedge away and then cut away any additional pieces when we come to stick the triangles on. And the next thing is between the pencil marks, which are at 2 and 3 inches, cut a slot. And you want the slot to be wide enough so that a piece of cardstock is going to be able to fit through the slot. So don't just cut between, you want to actually cut either side of your score line, as it were. So this is going to sit on the top of the triangle, and this piece is going to come down and slot into here. The next piece is the front of the dispenser, and this is 4 inches by 4 inches. Make a pencil mark along the top edge at 1½ inches and 2½ inches. Take your ruler. Line your ruler up with the 1/2 inch left-hand mark on your scoreboard or on your craft mat. Make sure your ruler is horizontal. Draw a line straight across the piece and then draw a line down to your pencil line at the 1½ and the 2½ inch pencil marks. So that will give you a piece which looks like this. We will cut this piece and this piece away, which will just leave us this tab on the end. Before I do any cutting, I'm going to line the edges of my 4-inch piece up with my score line, sit my piece up, and just make sure that if I do cut along the pencil lines, the tab is going to fit within the slot. If anything, you want your tab to be slightly shorter than the length of your slot. So I can see the side of my piece is lined up, and I can see that that is going to fit in the top. I'm now going to cut along the pencil lines and remove this section. Do the same this side. Rub any of your pencil marks out that are left behind. I'm going to round off the ends of my tab. This is just personal preference. So we've got our slotted end at the other end. We're going to adhere this piece onto here to create one long strip. And stick this into place. Now I'm going to sit the piece down, bring this over, And now I'm going to just gently fold the tab over, because now I can see that this is going to fit. If I'd needed to, I could do the bend for the tab slightly within the tab if it wasn't going to quite fit. But you can see that this is going to fit in there nicely. For the sides of the box, you'll need two pieces which are 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. Along the 2 1/2 inch side, make a pencil mark at 1 1/4 inches. You're then going to cut this into a triangle, so from this bottom right hand corner up to the point and the bottom left hand corner up to the point, and that will give you a triangle which looks like this. So you'll have two of these. The next thing to do is close your piece up, so just put the tab in the top and double check your glue tabs at the top of the triangle. You can see that this one overhangs, so I need to reshape this one, and obviously you want to check that the underneath glue tab also fits in. I'll reshape that one as well. Now we can stick our triangles in place. I'm going to use tape, but you obviously use whichever method of adhesive is your choice. The piece which is next to the one with the tab is the base. So let's remove that backing. Stick that one into place. I'll do the same on this side. Now we can move the backing from this one, get this lined up, pull this bit round. That's our sides. So that's effectively our dispenser. We're now going to put the two pieces in to stop the lid coming all the way down. You'll then need two squares which are 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. Score at 1/4 inch, rotate 90 degrees and score at 1/4 inch. I've got my square at the bottom where the pieces intersect, and we now want to score from this top corner here down to this bottom corner here. So if you have a marked track in your scoreboard, obviously that helps. If not, you can use your stylus and ruler. So we're going to score through the centre like so. Fold and burnish across the diagonal, and you do want to make sure that it is folded across the diagonal. So this is a valley fold, and then the 2/4 inch score lines fold as mountain folds. Take your scissors, remove the bottom intersecting square like so, fold the tab back, and at the end where we've removed the square, you're going to cut the glue tab in line with the diagonal, like so. And then you can just take a wedge from the other end. Then I'm going to take my scissors. So I've got my cut corner here, my diagonals running centrally, horizontally. I'm going to cut in the opposite direction. Add tape onto your glue tabs. The wings are going to sit in this orientation, so the triangle towards the middle. It doesn't matter whether you do the front or the back first. So we're going to sit the tab lined up with the base, and you should find that it fits in the gap. And if anything, you want it to be just behind the opening, and that's going to sit in there like so. And we'll do the same on this side, and then we can flip this up, take the backing off of this one and adhere that to the front like so. Do the same on this side. So the piece comes over, the front comes over, the tab slots in the top, and then the box will open, and we've got our little spring dispenser at the bottom. Now obviously you have the option of making this piece shorter if you so wanted, because this goes all the way up to the top. Alternatively, you could have this the same length, and you could actually have the front flap shorter, so you could have it so it slots in halfway across this section if you so wish. So there are options in terms of the front look of the box. The purpose of mine is I wanted to make it tall enough so that the surprise gift card could then be stuck into the front of this section. Now it's just a case of decoration, so I'm going to go ahead with that. Here's the finished decorated box. At the moment I've just added a simple sentiment onto the front. I'll give you the sizes for the DSP that I've used. This front piece is 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. The back is 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. The fixed element at the top is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. The triangles were cut from pieces which were 2 1/4 by 3, and on the top they were marked at 1 1/8 of a cross, and then the angles cut. And then inside I've cut almost a full piece because I wanted to cover all of the tabs inside, and that was 3 7/8 by 3 1/2. And then you can see I've used a gift card holder die to cut my 2 slots into that piece as well. So I've got my additional surprise, which it will be the gift card. I've really enjoyed making this project. I love the fact that you can make it out of one sheet of cardstock, and I like the fact that it does come together very quickly. There we have today's project. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel, and until next time, thanks for watching.